Puss in Boots is a spin-off to the Shrek franchise by DreamWorks. It released back in 2011 and was a commercial success, even if critically it didn't make much of an impression. It sported an all-star voice cast, including Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Bob Thornton, and others. Shrek was a cultural milestone, despite some rubbish articles desperately trying to get views. Hey, I'm the one who desperately gets views around here. Yet Puss in Boots barely made a dent. But now, 11 years later, a sequel titled Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is set to release. So I thought I might as well take a brief look at the original to see why it took so long to get a second entry, and if it's really good enough to deserve one. Puss tries to ghost his latest conquest, seeming more like James Bond than the hero of a kids movie. He's a fugitive on the run from the law, seeking to restore his lost honor. At the Festival of the Fire and the Chicken, Puss is in search of a job, and gets some info about how local crime lords Jack and Jill are in possession of the magic beans Puss has been searching for all this time. I didn't know Barney Stinson did tattoos. Up the hill, the ruthless criminals take over a hotel, but as they talk in their room, Puss arrives in an attempt to steal the beans, only to find that he's not the only interested party. Wait, is that... I'm Batman! The two rival cats bickering ends up getting them caught, and a pretty fun chase through the city ensues, ending in a secret underground milk bar. Thoroughly miffed with each other, the felines settle this the only way they can. A dance battle! Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. Voy a cantar esta canción. Undoing the Worm. Catman is revealed to be a woman by the name of Kitty Softpaws, voiced by Salma Hayek. Because the masked character being a woman by surprise totally isn't a overplayed cliche. We find out she's working with Humpty Dumpty, who has a lot of history with Puss. They ask him for help with a job, but our lead refuses. Kitty pursues him outside where he tells her, and the audience, his origin story. As a young orphan, he stood up for the egg, and the two became as close as brothers, as they desperately searched for a mythical treasure of golden eggs inside the castle in the clouds, from the fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. Unfortunately, on the way there, they ended up getting involved in a lot of petty crime, but when Puss saved an old woman's life, he was suddenly a hero to the townspeople, and to the Commandant, the leader of the soldiers there, who's voiced by famed director Guillermo del Toro, who also executive produced the film. It's because of this event that he got his boots, hat and sword, but all that good faith was lost after Puss is tricked into being party to a robbery by Humpty. The escape from the city goes wrong though, and the cat manages to escape, while the egg is arrested for his crimes. Puss in Boots exists in that time period that I personally have a lot of nostalgia for. I'm talking, of course, about the movie tie-in game thing, where everything got a video game. From WALL-E to Lost to The Office. Puss in Boots obviously had its own game on Xbox 360, PS3 and Wii, and apparently it was pretty good. Oh. Fruit Ninja Puss in Boots. Anyway, that's enough of that. Back in present day, Puss reluctantly agrees to work with the criminal pair, and they manage to steal the magic beans from Jack and Jill in the desert. Puss and Kitty bond over her lack of claws, and after planting the seeds, they sprout into a towering stairway to the sky. The three manage to break into the castle and, instead of simply stealing some golden eggs, take the baby goose who lays them. Back on the ground, they celebrate their victory, but after some flirting, Kitty seems off and leaves the party. As Puss and Humpty reflect on their friendship, Jack and Jill gets the drop on them, leaving Puss to his fate in the desert. The film had been in development since 2004 when Shrek 2 released. As a Shrek 2 spin-off, it was initially planned for release in 2008 as a direct-to-video film, then titled Puss in Boots: The Story of an Ogre Killer. But as time went on, plans changed and it ended up being a much bigger production, going exclusively to cinemas. He manages to make his way to the closest settlement, San Ricardo, where he grew up, to find that Humpty has been plotting this whole thing. He worked with Jack and Jill and Kitty Softpaws to trick his old friend turned nemesis. Wanting Puss to suffer the same fate he did when the cat abandoned him on that bridge, Puss and his boots are arrested. In the jail he meets Jack from the original tale, who reveals that the giant is dead, but that baby goose has a much bigger mama. Kitty breaks Puss, and consequently Jack, out of prison.
Apology accepted!
And after escaping, he tries to talk Humpty to his senses, so that the town doesn't get destroyed when the giant goose arrives searching for her child. The Yolky boy comes to his senses, and they lead the goose away from the town, relatively safely. But as both Humpty and the baby goose dangle over the edge, Humpty lets go so the goose can live.
Humpty!
I hope you like your eggs scrambled. Our hero sees that deep down, Humpty was a good egg, being taken along with the goose back to the heavens. Puss is forgiven for his earlier crimes, both by the Commandante and his adopted mother.
I will see you again, Kitty Softpaws.
Sooner than you think.
It would be 11 years before we see her again. Puss in Boots is a fun time. It's not great, but it's good. The animation is full of detail and has a certain style to it that makes it hold up better than some other animated films of the time. I don't think that it reaches the heights of the first couple Shrek movies, but it's a good bit better than Shrek the Third. When it ended, I wanted a sequel, and pretty soon we'll be getting one. In fact, originally this video was meant to release the same week as Puss in Boots 2, but they pushed the movie back. So, I suppose considering the original Puss in Boots started as a direct-to-DVD film and morphed slowly into something much bigger, it's only fitting that the sequel took way too long to come out, and seemingly has changed into a much more stylish experience. Next time I'm going to be taking a look at the first female-led MCU movie, Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, and even a little cameo from our boy, Agent Coulson. This action-packed family adventure definitely caused some controversy when it first released, much of which seemed focused on Brie Larson herself, so make sure to tune in so you can see if it's truly deserving of so much hate. You can use the link in the description below to find out where to watch Captain Marvel before I cover it on the next episode. The Blu-ray of the movie also has an exclusive little short film included called Puss in Boots: The Three Diablos, and it's a pretty cute way to spend 10 minutes. I recommend it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day and an even brighter tomorrow.